Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. This is Lifestyles with Eric. And this is,
Hold on, it ain't coming up.
it's supposed to be, he's supposed to say the voice, everybody, but we can't sing.
Oh, there we go.
I'm Lifestyles with Eric, and this is, I'm waiting on the voice to say, and this is the voice.
And this is the voice.
All right. There we go. There we go. All righty, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. Like I said, I'm Lifestyle with Eric. We got the voice in the house tonight. My co-host, my partner, the guy that I always go viral with. So maybe we can get another good one in tonight. Um, we don't always agree on everything, like I say a lot, but we do have great opinions, and we both always come together with something that makes sense. Um, and
Hold on.
I just wanted to, tell everybody out there, be safe. We're going to talk about, gun violence and stuff tonight. Just being irresponsible and just a few things like that. And I just want everybody to be safe out there. Um, watch out for children. Watch out for the youth. Watch out for neglectful parents. All of that. Miss Debbie said, "Hey, all right, reality checks. Good evening."
I got to put on my foster grants real quick.
All right, Mr. Grant and Foster.
You remember them from back in the day, foster grants?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't even think they make them no more, do they?
yeah.
They do?
That's a name brand. Yeah.
I thought that was played out after the 80s or something like that.
Miss Janice Gray, thanks for coming in, love. Thank you. Miss Glenda, thanks for coming in. We got 9 in. Looks like people are getting notifications today. That's a good thing. It's they've been slowing me down on my notifications. Um, I hope everybody gets their notification today. All right, we got the hero in the house, Miss Glenda. Hey, Miss Glenda. I hope you're feeling well. Um, Everybody, I'm super close. Keep running those videos. Um, we need 4,000 watch hours. We've got about 30, a little over 3,600, everybody. So we're almost at the door. We are at the door, and we will be monetized. Soon you will see that dollar bill sign at the end of my chats. And we all know what that means. So I just want everybody to be prepared for that. And there's no pressure, but I will be monetized. And monetization is what we all strive for on YouTube. So, when it's time to donate and hit that Cash App, just make sure when you come into my house and you wipe your feet, just hit the Cash App, and I will greatly appreciate that. It all goes back to the channel. It's all positive, and I appreciate you. Like I said, when you hit that subscribe button, you are family. You are not just a subscriber. You're part of the family. So anything that's going on or whatever, you're going to be in the know about it. You're going to know what's going on. And I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to inform you. Like I said, everybody, it's just anything is greatly appreciated. Anything is greatly appreciated. Um, where did Mr. Voice go? Where did the voice go? Where did the voice go? Come on back, voice. Okay, the voice is back.
That was my bad. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to say hi to Debbie and Glenda, and I
Miss
hit the wrong button.
Miss Glenda's hollering at you. Miss Glenda hollered at you.
Yeah, I was saying hi to Debbie and Glenda, and I was texting hi, and I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Glenda.
All right, all right. Yeah, I want to see how many come in the chat tonight. I want to see who comes in first. See if we can get some more people in. And hey, everybody, remember, um,
Hi, Janice Gray.
jump in the chat if you can. Don't just watch me. Jump in and say hi. Don't be shy. Jump in and say hi. Okay. Don't be shy. Um, I appreciate the support, but I want you guys to participate. Comment. Just keep it respectful. But you can comment. We can disagree and agree to disagree. But I definitely appreciate all comments, everybody. And please make sure you share the video out to all of your friends. That's very, very important. Sharing the video out, commenting, bringing more subscribers to the family. It's all important. It all counts, everybody. So, Miss Brandy Owens, thanks for coming in. But it's very important, and it's something that you got to do. You definitely got to do it. We're strictly positive here. We throw no shade on one another. We uplift one another. But we get down and dirty sometimes. We talk about whatever, and and I appreciate everybody's comments. And like I said, I just appreciate everybody coming in whenever I go live. If you do get a notification, I appreciate you coming on. Anything to say, George?
Um, I was thinking about something crazy about a woman said said her husband never paid any attention to her,
Uh,
and said whenever she dressed nice and everything, he didn't pay no attention to her. He wasn't tuned into her personal desires and needs and wants and everything. And so the husband grabbed her by the hand one day and said, "Baby, I'm so sorry if you feel like I don't pay you any attention and I'm not in tune to your desires and everything you want me to be in tune with." He said, "So since if you feel like you want me to be more into you and understand you better, I got one question I want to ask you." And she said, "What's that question, baby?" He said, "That question is, baby, I just want to know, do you pee in the shower?"
Hey, man. Okay, that's a way to break the ice there, George. That was a grown folks jokes. If you got it, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. Uh, but that was a grown folks joke. And thanks for breaking the ice. Wow. Okay. All righty. Well, all righty. We got a joke in there. Uh, but yeah, everybody. We got 11 in tonight. Who we got in tonight? Come on, where's everybody at now? Where is everybody at? I don't see 11 people on my chat. Make sure you thumbs up the video. That's very important. Thumbs, thumbs, thumbs. We need all thumbs up. All thumbs up. That makes everything go into the algorithms. It makes everything pop. It makes everybody zero into lifestyles with Eric. We need as many people as possible. So make sure you thumbs up that video, everybody.
I know, Debbie, I'm crazy. I got issues.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's nuts. He's nuts. So let's jump on in. Hey, so I was watching the news last night, and I saw where a toddler in Indianapolis, Indiana, in Beach Grove, Indiana, had a 9mm handgun. Hey, Miss Diana, 9mm handgun in his hand, and he was actually in the corridors of the apartment going pow pow on a lady's Ring camera. And I guess she was alarmed, and they didn't know if the little boy was going to walk out into the street or whatever. And he also had a gun, and it didn't look play to them. So they called the police, and the police came over, found out where the little boy lived at. They asked the dad, did he have a gun? He said no. They informed him that they had him on a Ring camera, had his baby boy on a Ring camera with a gun. So they had probable cause, I guess, to search his premises. They found the gun. It wasn't loaded, but it did have a cartridge in it. It had a clip in it, rather, with 15 shells. My thing is, I've heard time and time again, not just with a child having a gun, but a little damn near a baby in diapers that's just walking around like nothing's going on. Like, that who allows a little baby to walk outside of their apartment and just roam around and do whatever they want to do, and I don't care what's going on, unless I'm on drugs and I just am out of my mind so fucking high. Let alone this little bitty boy, had a gun that could have turned out in itself just horrible. So my thing is, are we coming into a trend now with, you know what? I think I am going to say it. Younger parents that have a disregard for their children because they're getting high, or they just don't give a shit, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I was a young father, and I think you were too, George. And I just didn't neglect my kids. I was a father at 20. That's young. And I didn't neglect my kid. I never had any issues with guns. I never had any issues with neglect. I've carried a gun my whole life. A child should not be walking around with one of these, saying bang, bang. This is for adults, not children. It's really getting out of hand. I don't know, what do we do? Where do we do? Us older guys, do we need to get out here and try to retrain these young guys, man? I mean, what are we doing here? He was 4 years old in fucking diapers. That's crazy. That's sad. That he's being neglected then, definitely. If he was 4 in diapers, then he's being neglected, Debbie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a pretty big case of child neglect. I mean, you got a 4-year-old running around in diapers. That's bad enough in itself alone. Then you want to add into the facts
that he's walking. What's going on?
Yeah, then you add in the other factor that he's walking around with a gun at 4 years old. How did the child get access to the gun? Number one, why didn't you have the gun put up in a lock, in a safe lock, or a lock, gun safe, or let's just say even if you put it on top of the refrigerator. Some of these kids nowadays are super aggressive, and they'll climb on chairs, climb on countertops, and the moment you turn away for just a slight few minutes, some of these kids are into stuff that they shouldn't even be into. It's rough, man. I mean, the guy can't sit up here and say he was cleaning it. Whoever, the guy, the mom, or whoever's gun it was, you can't sit up here and say that you was cleaning your gun. And you left your gun on the table after you was cleaning it. You can't say that. So I'm interested in what they're going to try to do. Are they going to take the child away?
Well, I would say take him away for a little while and see what's going on. Somebody's got to step in for that baby, because he can't speak for himself. He don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. He's walking around going bang, 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 bang. With a real.
Now here's the thing. Where did he get that from? I mean, are you getting it from?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, but.
Well, they don't have kids then, reality checks. If they're kids themselves, then they need to give these kids up for adoption. Period. If they're not aborting these kids, then give them up for adoption. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, when I grew up, we had our little cops and robber TV shows and everything. But we didn't touch. We knew when the grown-ups had a gun, we knew to get away from it.
My grandmother always had a gun, Rodney George, my whole life.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my grandmother kept a 32 under her pillow my whole life.
But you didn't go in there and start playing with it though. But you didn't go in there and start touching it. Yeah.
Well, you didn't notice. Do you know the story about Ernest? When we were kids, me, man, and Ernest were at my grandmother's house, and Ernest grabbed her gun and put it on us.
What?
When we were little kids, yeah.
Wow.
Ernest was
I didn't know that.
Serious, man. She said, "Put that gun down, boy."
Wow. It's just, you think about it. When we grew up, we had we played outside with our toy guns and stuff, but we wasn't doing stuff like these kids was doing now. I mean, we had our ways. We were, I guess, put it like this: our generation, we were more outside than we were inside.
Right. We didn't have time to get into stuff indoors because we were outside exploring.
Yeah. It was different.
We had an imagination and we were out exploring.
I think the biggest thing I got into, the biggest thing I think I was getting into, I probably wasn't getting into it at 4, but maybe like around 8, 9, 10 years old, was sneaking in the room when your parents is gone and you go get the Richard Pryor and Red Fox albums and listening to them.
I remember looking at Playboy magazines.
And Playboy, looking at the Playboy magazines, or you listen to or you in the room with your friends and the parents is having a house party and they got Richard Pryor and Red Fox going on the record in the background. You cracking the door open to listen to hear the Richard Pryor cussing. It was a different time. Nowadays, I think a lot of these kids that are having kids, some of them, or there's a lot of them out there that are very respectful, but then you have some kids who feel like they're privileged and they don't give a damn. They'll sit up here and they'll have a big old gun on the side walking around on the side of their hip showing. And then the kid is curious. You still have, even though you have the right to walk around in this city without a permit, you still have to be mindful of what the little kids are looking at or seeing and watching, and they imitate that. So either he saw that on TV, which we all saw it at some time as a kid or a child on TV, but the parent should have been like, "Hey, man, I need to put my gun up. The baby's walking around." You still have to be mindful of your children, and they will sit up here and they would get into anything nowadays, man. These kids now, they're drinking. Remember, I thought when I was little, drinking somebody's beer was the big exciting thing. Sipping somebody's beer.
I remember Mr. George that lived next door to us.
Yeah.
Kid, they had the big dump truck. Remember Mr.
Yeah, I remember Mr. George. Yeah.
He had I was so curious about his snuff. I remember he gave me a little bit of snuff and I swallowed it. And I choked and spit and spit and spit. And he said, "See, Eric, I told you, putt. I told you, you." So see, I was curious. I was a little kid,
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. These young adults got to do better, man. They got to do better, man.
Yeah. Brandy made a good comment. She said, "Right, the problem." Parents aren't parenting anymore. They're friends with their kids.
That's true.
That's true. That's a very true comment. It's like you're not.
I don't care how old they get. They're still your kids. They're not your friends.
Right.
Period.
And they will learn to respect you and love you for being hard on them.
And they will.
In the end.
They will. They don't understand it till they get older. They think you're being mean,
Yeah.
They're, until they get older, they don't understand it.
But you know what? There's some guys out here right now that played NFL football, and they said, they done grew up. They're like 6'6", 6'8", 250, 300 pounds, and they will say, my mom and my dad, they may be smaller than me, but I'm still scared as heck of them.
Right.
Because when I was younger, they put that fear into me to like, hey, you better not touch this. You better not touch that. I better not hear about you getting in trouble in school. It's society nowadays is so sensitive. You go out here and you spank your child, you got child protective service knocking on your door. You know, you raise your voice at your child because your child's getting out of line. And I've gone through it. Your child's getting out of line, and you speak up and say something, and next thing you know, here comes child protective service knocking on your door. I've had it done to me, you know, shoot. You know, one of my daughters gets all upset, slamming doors, and I jump up and say something. I ain't even put my hand on them. The next thing you know, here comes child protective service knocking on your door. I'm like, it's crazy nowadays. That little baby, now going back to that little baby, that baby should have been in the house in the bed somewhere, taking a nap, or get ready to go to bed. Period. Yeah.
That's a baby.
Yeah.
Period.
So I'm just curious about what the police are going to say. Debbie said the gun was loaded on the baby pulling. Baby pulled the trigger, but it jammed. Wow.
You said what?
Debbie said the gun was loaded and the baby pulled the trigger, but it jammed.
Well, I don't think it was one in the what's the name. It was just some in the chat in the what's the name, because he was going pow pow. He was trying to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm just glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, that could have been bad. You know, that kid could have pointed the gun at himself and shot himself.
I think we need to just do our best to try to help these younger parents, man, whenever we can, if they'll listen. You know, if they'll listen, because they got a long way to go, man. I'm almost done. They got a long way to go.
Hey, oh yeah. Hey, Bev Roundtree comments and says kids don't have any raising these days. Last and evil days.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah.
Now, Glenda, our parents never played. My mother never played. Grandmother never played. Never. Never.
You remember back in the day, man, you used to talk back to your grandparents, they pop you in the mouth just like a snake just curled up to bite you.
I got a lot of whoopings though. My mother whooped me a lot.
Hey man,
I have my share.
I'm sitting up here, you know, here's what's crazy. I sit up here right now and I got a few friends I talk to, they have grandkids and whatever. And they'd be on the phone and they'd be talking and the kid just come up here and start having a whole conversation with them. And I'm like,
that's not polite. That's mad. That's yeah. Yeah.
Man, I got in trouble for that crap back in the day. You'd be like, you hear grown folks talking, you better go find something to do.
Yeah, yeah. Or say, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these kids now, they just walk up.
Well, that means we can't be soft on these grandkids either. We got to still teach them right.
Yeah.
I mean, period. You got a grandson.
Yeah, I've got several grandkids. You know.
No, I'm saying your big grandson, your big one.
Oh yeah, he's the LB. He's a good kid. Now I got two other grandkids. One of the baby boys, he's hell on wheels, and I'm like, you know, he's gonna be a problem when he get older. You know, but
absolutely, Janice.
It whoo, you know, I don't know what to say, but about that one, I'm like, he don't live in this city right now, but you know, he's out of town. But when he gets older, he's gonna be a problem.
Well, hopefully he won't be a problem. We'll think positive on that when hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be okay. Yeah, we don't need no more bad boys.
Janice says, children live what they learn. A mom should know what a child that young is doing at all times. Now in that situation, it wasn't the mom, was it the dad that had the gun that the child had?
Yeah, it was the dad. Yeah.
It was the dad?
Yeah.
So the mom, I wonder if she was at work or she was in the house or what?
You know, they'll give you a lot of it's another race, but they won't give you a lot of it's another race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's tough, man. You know, I felt bad for one lady. Remember, we was talking about this earlier. She had a little kid, and the kid got outside and was running around in diapers, and the mom was a single mom, and she was just trying to get a little rest, you know, and I
Okay.
felt bad for
Yeah,
her.
you were saying that.
Yeah, I
Just
felt bad
don't.
for her, but but it's tough on a single mom. You know, a single dad at that too. You know, you're trying to raise your kid, and you may not have no family support, whatever town you live in. You may not be able to afford a babysitter, and you just want to get a little bit of rest. And sometimes you have these hyperactive kids, and you thinking the baby sleep, and you're trying to take a nap while the baby's sleep, and they pop up and they bouncing around, and you asleep. Man, it's. Whew, I got, you know what, I got more love. I got a lot of love for single parents out there, man. It's a tough job. You know, you never know. Some kids might be great kids, and you might have another child that might be just like Evil Knievel, just all over the place.
That's true.
Yeah. So
But you just gotta, like I said, when you see, I always put my mother in those shoes, man. My mother had two kids, man, and I and even when we were younger, man. I mean, you just can't. Even if you got to put them kids in the room with you and lock it, I mean, you just can't. I get the tired stuff, but you can't make. There is no. When you're a parent, you can't make no mistakes like that, because think about that. When you're a parent, you can't make no mistakes like that, because something bad could happen, and then you're at fault because you're the parent. They ain't gonna blame the kid because that's the kid, right?
mm-hmm.
So the bottom line is that when you're a parent, if something would have happened to that, let's flip it. Let's say that man was tired from working 13 hours, and he was a single father, and he had that gun, and he was just in there sleep, and he wasn't on dope or nothing like that, and that little boy got still his fault.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That brings me to another dynamic of what you just said. He's a single father. Remember, when we grew up, we had a community that raised us.
Okay.
The whole block or the next block over.
It was a village.
It was a village, right? There you go. It was a village. So we was able to go outside and play one or two blocks over. The neighbors, the neighbors knew who your family was, and they knew who your people was. 1 or 2 blocks over, and they knew who you were. Nowadays, you'll be lucky if you know the person who lives immediately next door to you.
Because people are so private and they're doing stuff that they ain't supposed to be doing. That's why.
Yeah. Or they don't want to get to know their neighbors. You know, I try to make it a habit to get to know who my neighbors are. Yeah.
Really, that's really why though. Because I know I know the neighbor right here, and know my neighbor right here. I mean, and then I know my neighbor across the street. I know the neighbor right here across the street. So I mean, I know, you know what I'm saying? Normally nowadays, when people don't want you to know, it's because they're doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. That's why.
Yeah, they could be. Yeah.
But really, they need to play it off and still be cool with the neighbors.
Yeah, but you know why I try to always get to know who my neighbors is? Because if I go out of town or if something goes on when I'm out to work, if I know who my neighbors are, they might call me and say, "Hey, G, man, so-and-so's going down at your place, man." Or I can call my neighbor and say, "Hey, man, you got somebody coming over there."
Or whatever.
Yeah, or your kids outside. Remember, if we was cutting up, when we was coming up, say it's like Miss Terry, if we was cutting up, Miss Terry would, "Hey, y'all supposed to be doing that crap. What are y'all doing?" Or you go down there and, Big Dave might be joking with you, but he put you on the right path. And you go on 35th Street, you go over there, you got Mr. Lewis who's going to be on you. Miss Williams is going to be on you over there. You had people knew, hey, I'll go around the corner and I'll call your people, or I'll walk you back home and have a talk with your people.
Yeah. So it was just different back in those days. And, I wish that we could get back to a little bit of those days. See, I understand that we're in the future now, but sometimes you got to mix the old with the new and put it together. If we're going to have new, I got that. But we need to pull some of that old school shit in too back in, because that's what we're missing in that big pot of gumbo. So, we got to get back to some old school teachings. We got to get back to that.
And you also had school teachers that sometimes came to your house
all the time.
Yeah,
they cared.
Yeah.
My teacher used to come and get me for summer school in 5th grade. I remember that. She would come and get a couple of us in the ghetto. I
Yeah.
remember when they wasn't the ghetto then, just the inner city. But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Miss Day, School 107. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It you know, some of the old school values will make a very big difference in society that today.
they won't let us push those back in because they want it to be so new age now. With
Yeah.
with the kids learning how to be gay and all that stuff in school. See,
Oh my God.
they don't want the old school teachings. I was looking at something with Mr. Rogers the other day, and
Mm.
man, he was old school, man, but he was saying some real shit. He was saying, and it's no shade against no, you can do whatever you want to do. I love everybody, but he was saying when you're a girl, you're a little girl. Little girls do girl things, and girls grow up to be big girls and women. And when you're a little boy, you do little boy. I'm saying he was saying that back then.
Yeah.
But think about what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say that now.
No, you can't. You get have HR coming down on you, or
That's,
some
that's
activist group coming down on you.
crazy though. That's normal though. Hey Hope, that's normal. That's normal. But
Hey, how you doing, Hope? How you doing, Hope? I see you out there.
yeah, man. But it's crazy, dude. It's crazy, man. Crazy. I don't know, man. I just hope we get back to those days, man. Um, a little bit. I'm not expecting to get back to to the 80s, the 70s. I'm not expecting to get there. But they say things come back around. I don't want the style to just come back around. I want the good teachings to come back around. I don't want
Yeah.
the hairstyles to come back. I want the good teachings to come back. You got me?
Well, hold on now. Hold on. I like the hairstyles back in the '70s. Now they, because you know
They
it.
even had cornrows. Yeah.
What they had when you had an afro back in the '70s. Oh man, it was about whose fro was the roundest, and if you touch my fro, we got a problem, baby. You know, and if you had your hair pressed out, you know, with that hot comb, and some dudes was rocking, you know, they was rocking the gold chains and the pressed out hair, you know, like Superfly and all that stuff. If you touch some dude's hair, man, he had the rollers in there and had his hair looking fly, and he can go out. Hey man, the '70s. To me, when I think about the decades, and we go into another topic, to me the '70s, even though I was a youngster, the '70s to me was the best decade that I know of. But then maybe the '80s, but the '70s was it, man. It was like that was the decade, the 1970s, the early '70s to the mid '70s.
That's what's up.
That was it. Yeah, that's what was up, man. You know, we had like what Starsky and Hutch. We had who else? We had Mod Squad. You know, we had all kinds of stuff going on out there. $6 Million Man. You know, you had souped up cars, like, you know, your family had some souped up, pimped out, some rides and everything. And it was just a different vibe in the '70s, man. You know,
I got to keep the tradition alive, Rodney George.
huh?
That's why I got to keep the tradition alive.
Yeah, man. It was
Have something
'70s was
souped up.
different, man.
I always got to have something souped up in the garage, brother.
Yeah, the '70s was it, man. If you think about it, man, it was just the atmosphere in life was a little bit different. We still had our problems in the nation,
Things were
but
just more laid back. That's all.
that's it, man. You know, it took a lot less to make it. You know, you can go out there, you could go down to the canal over there, or White River, if you had a fishing pole, and go out there and grab your catfish out of there, go home and cook it. Or, you know, somebody was having a card party somewhere and everybody was having a good time, and somebody's family was cooking out, or you going out of town, you're going to Chicago, or you're going out to Kentucky or Tennessee. You know, life was simpler and it was fun.
It was.
And the community helped raise the kids. It wasn't one man, one mama, and you sleep and the baby walking around in diapers. Nah, you know, you had a community down the street. You might go, like say, you go down there and hang out with Ernest for a little while, or I'll go down there and hang out with Billy Merriweather. You know, hang out with the Walkers or Kim Duck over there, you know, on 34th Street. Hang out with Lil Dave. I'm just calling out people from the block. You know, everybody may not know these people, but these are people from the block. You know, you call like people call out everybody from the block in New York or something like that. I'm just calling everybody was out on 34th. You had the Walkers, you had the Givens, you know, you had the Barlows, you had the Davises, you know, you had the Greens. You know, there was the 34th Street was it was its own little community. And everybody, you know, the Terrys, the Wartlows, you know, it was just the block that everybody just came, pretty much everybody, if you lived on 33rd, 34th, or even across the bridge, everybody wanted to come to 34th Street.
Pretty much.
That was the block, man, you know, so. And that was a community, and the community raised, you had your moral values from that community over there, you know.
Absolutely. Hey, Shell, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Hit that thumbs up the video. Everybody make sure they thumbs up the video, share the video out. That's very, very important. We miss the old days. As you can see, George is reminiscing. We miss those old days, though. We miss them. But thanks for coming in, everybody. Thanks for coming in tonight. We're going to finish out with about 16 in. See how you say something, someone's child. Yeah, that's true. I've been through that before. Once, I'll give you one little quick story. When I was married years ago, we were at the doctor's office, and I remember specifically a little boy he was playing all around the office, but then he kept stepping on my ex-wife's shoes, and his mother was sitting right there, and she wouldn't tell him. So I said, "Excuse me, could you say excuse me?" And she said, "Don't you say anything to my son." And she went off on me. So instead of her chastising her son, I was just being nice, you know. And you see, that's what happened. So yes, you can't say anything to anybody's kids anymore, Janice. It's just we're just in different times now, and you know, I just think we ought to teach whenever we can, though. Whenever we can teach somebody something, let's teach them. Let's teach them.
Yeah,
miss the old school. Yeah, I miss the old school. But
what kind of lesson is that teaching your kid when your kid doing something wrong, stepping on somebody's shoe, and then you jump up and start getting on top of the person and saying, "Hey, you know, your child's out of line." That's teaching the child not to have any respect for anybody. You know, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just like grab him and start spanking his little butt, and then grab the mama and start spanking her.
You know, I don't. She should have. Hey, Shay, thanks for coming in, baby. But yeah, you know, I don't know, man. We may or may not ever get back to those days again. But it was good to talk about them tonight.
Yeah, it was, man.
Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in. We're gonna finish out with about 18. I love everybody. Make sure you thumbs up the video, share the video out, thumbs, comment, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell them about The Voice and Lifestyles with Eric. We'll be back at you with another great video, another great chat, and we had a really good discussion tonight. We'll get back on this again. Let me see what we say.
And couples, one last thing, couples. If somebody act like they feel like that you don't pay them enough attention and don't understand them, just ask them, "Do you like to pee in the shower?" And see what they say. See how personal they want to get with you then.
Oh, man. All right, George. On that note, everybody, thanks for coming in. All right, Brandy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Not spank the mama. Yeah. All righty, everybody. Take it easy.
Or spank the monkey.
See you later. Bye-bye.